And I had such a boring day yesterday. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm letting you down.
What's boring to you?
I had an excellent
Castmates.
day. I can't really talk about a lot of it, though.
Well, what do you mean? You had a date or something?
No, not really a date.
Not really a date, so it must
No.
have been kind of.
I just went to lunch with someone that was very interesting.
Somebody that's very interesting?
Well, take
Yeah,
their name
it was a
out of it.
date.
Just tell us what was interesting.
Yeah.
I got to ride in a Ferrari.
Shut up.
Yeah, I think
You went out
it-
with
I think
Justin
it was
Bieber?
my first Ferrari. I think that was my
Wow.
first Ferrari.
Wait, so you found a sugar daddy?
No, we're just friends.
Oh.
Well,
But
that's
it was
fun.
cool.
Ferrari, though.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
What?
Cool.
Yeah.
How
And then I
fast
went
did
to a
you go?
psychic. So I had a really interesting
That's
day.
interesting. You had the total opposite
I
day
just had
that
such
I
an
had.
interesting day, and then I chewed my tongue off while I slept almost.
You went to a
That-
psychic?
What did,
Yeah, it was interesting.
Did you go for any particular reason?
No, just kind of went.
do you
know.
believe in that kind of stuff, or you
Sometimes
just kind
it's
of?
interesting, right? I've got a tall Texan in my future.
Is that what the psychic said?
Yeah.
Tall.
A tall Texan. You know, that's all I want is all I ever really asked for is tall.
Was the Ferrari a Texan guy?
No.
No.
Are you?
No.
Does this is the thing? Are you not wary of the psychic? Maybe is a huge fan of the show, and so she or he can just tell
No, when
you.
I first he didn't know who I was at first. Now he does, but no, he's really good.
All right.
What prompted
That's
you to
all
just
Texan.
go to a psychic
Sometimes
randomly
you just want
in
to
the middle
find
of
out
the
what's
week?
going on, don't you?
I do.
I mean, honestly, with kids passing and stuff, and things are really in a state of upheaval.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted some clarity on a few things, and
you feel more settled, or do you feel
well, I
better?
was just saying, and I went to him a few months ago, right after that happened, and so yesterday I did a little follow up.
Did anything come true from the last meeting?
Wait,
you
so
had?
the psychic's not the one driving the Ferrari,
No.
right?
No.
Oh, wow.
No,
So I was gonna say, man, that's a lucrative business.
Yeah, I'm going to start reading minds.
Or he's like doing something else on the side.
no, this is all he does. Interesting stuff.
He has ESPN.
Years and years ago, I went to him.
Who's winning the Super Bowl?
I didn't
so
ask
I can
him that
bet.
because I don't care. But years and years ago, I went to him, and he didn't know who I was at that point. He
Yeah.
really didn't. I just told him because I was like scared. I said, "I'm not telling you anything. My name's Kelly."
Yeah.
And he said, "I don't know what this means." He said, "But I see you here and here and here."
What are the
And
here's?
here, pointing here and here.
Different dollar stores?
He was pointing. It was syndication. This is before we were ever syndicated. Come
come
How
on.
can he picture me? He said, "I don't know how this is." He said, "But you're here." And he was like, "You're here and you're here and you're here." I don't.
Was
he
there
said,
a
"You'll
map
have
in front of him?
And I mean, at the time, I didn't know what that meant.
You tell him we
He's
get
like,
can-
write
we
it
got
down. It'll
canceled in
mean something
Albuquerque.
later. He always said, if it doesn't mean something now, write it down and it'll mean something later. And within like
I mean, you
a
are-
year or two, we were syndicated.
You are pretty social. You are everywhere.
He
you
went
have
all
lots
over,
of
he went all over the
luncheons.
country. He was saying all over the country. He was saying, he said about moving. He said, "You're here and here, you're here." He said, he said, "It's not a move." He said, "But you're here and here and here." And he didn't understand what
Wow.
that meant because he didn't know I was in radio.
I kind of want to go get my palm read.
He's not a palm reader.
Oh, whatever he reads.
Yeah, I was going to say.
what's
The
your
one
reason?
time I've done that, they were like, "I think that you like this person. Brown hair, but kind of brownish blonde, and wears t-shirts." I'm like, what? Like, that's so vague. Like, that's everyone.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
every
right.
guy.
'Cause
Brownish, maybe blonde, and he wears t-shirts. I'm like, what?
Because the book I'm reading right now had a psychic in it, and that kind of got me interested again in going to see it.
What book?
I'm really into books
Oh,
right now.
fine.
You're really
It'll
into
be-
books.
That's just me. That's just me throwing out that
You've
I'm
been
reading.
saying that since the kids get trip.
I'm reading.
You carried that around like a celebrity does to get their photo taken with it. I have an Instagram photo of you and I didn't even notice you're holding a book.
Yeah.
We're
What's
sitting
the
up with
book?
the pilots, and he didn't even open it to read it. I feel like he was just posing with the book.
No,
You do
I've
feel- I mean,
finished
you-
every book I have.
Don't you instantly feel smarter and a little bit better than everybody else when you're walking around with a book?
Yeah.
You really do.
Like when I travel now, I like holding my book
Yeah,
so people
yeah.
look at me. It's like you get,
Yeah.
you get like, oh, that guy's smart.
you
It's
see
kinda like
people
walking-
sitting on the plane reading these thick novels. You're
Yeah.
like, you're just better than me.
Yeah.
It's kind of like walking around with your workout clothes on, even though you haven't been to the gym.
Exactly.
Yeah, you
That's
just walk
exactly
out.
what it's like.
Yeah,
it's the
like-
equivalent of the girl wearing the yoga pants when she
Yeah.
hasn't gone to the
Fine.
gym.
What are you reading?
Yeah, exactly. It depends on the book. Like you have to put the good magazines that you buy on top,
Right.
and sandwich the ones you might be like embarrassed about.
I'm not gonna lie. I haven't been showing the cover of this book because it looks a little kitty.
What is it?
It's
Green
Goosebumps.
It's Goosebumps?
Yeah,
That's what
R.L. Stein.
Wait, did you read that when you were young?
I'm just kidding.
Are you reading What's Happening to My Body?
It's similar to that. I think it's
What's
the adult.
happening to my body?
It's the adult version of
Goosebumps?
Goosebumps. I think it's a Stephen King novel, and it's called Joyland.
Well, Stephen
Joy-
King
I have
is-
it right here.
Stephen King
Wait,
is acceptable
the
to
adult
read
version of Goosebumps.
It's kind of adult version.
because it's scary.
There's a love scene.
There's a love scene.
Love scene.
You know
I
what,
don't want to
JC,
read
I
a love scene out of Stephen
think-
King's
But doesn't it
mind.
look like
You know what I want you to do is the brief Cliff Notes audio version for us to hear, so we get a summary of what happened in
of
the
this book? Mm-hmm. Right now?
No,
Now,
Oh,
how did you come about acquiring this book?
I went to the bookstore.
you know what's weird is
Makes sense.
I read a lot of
That's
Stephen.
where they have 'em.
I read a lot of Stephen King books, and I've never seen that one.
It's a new one.
Already available in paperback.
I think it's a new one. It's been out there.
So you decided, I want to read, I'm going to the bookstore, and I'm going to buy me a book.
Yeah. So I go to the bookstore, and then I find the first dude that works there, and then I say, what should I read? And so
You know what? That's okay.
And then
Well,
he takes
I mean-
me, and he goes, what do you want? And I said, a book.